On September 20th, 2022, NASA initiated a groundbreaking mission by intentionally crashing into the asteroid Dimorphos. The goal was to alter its orbit, reducing its orbital period by 32 minutes. This mission represented a critical component of NASA's comprehensive plan to safeguard Earth from the disastrous impacts of an asteroid collision. Naturally, taking preemptive measures to safeguard our planet from devastating asteroids is clearly warranted. We all know the story of how an asteroid approximately 15 kilometers in width led to the extinction of the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. The impact was so catastrophic that it propelled rocks from deep within the Earth's crust to heights of 25 kilometers, and a ring of mountains surpassing the Himalayas in height emerged around the perimeter of the crater. Driven by our deep-seated instinct, we are determined to ensure such catastrophes never recur. However, there is a twist to this story. Rumors suggest that billionaires are covertly investing in research aimed at steering these celestial objects towards our planet for a single purpose: mining. The concept of mining asteroids for their abundant resources has been a topic of interest among scientists for quite some time. As a matter of fact, several notable billionaires are ambitiously pursuing the creation of a $1 trillion asteroid mining sector by the year 2025. Considering the significant technological advancements and extensive resources required to realize this vision, it naturally prompts us to wonder, why? First, we must understand that our planet's resources are depleting more rapidly than ever before, especially that the global population has already ballooned to more than 8 billion people. Our needs are expanding from fundamental essentials to encompass advanced desires, including high-speed internet, streaming platforms, and various other technology-driven services. The sophisticated technologies that are the backbone of our global society depend on valuable materials such as cobalt, platinum, gold, and rare earth elements. Currently, these essential resources are sourced from industrial mining, an activity entangled in environmental and ethical issues, including pollution, destruction of natural habitats, forced labor, and significant health hazards to surrounding communities. With the escalating demand for these crucial materials amid a rising global population, the risk of scarcity is imminent. Hence, we'll need to be innovative in looking for the next possible sources of these valuable resources. That's where these asteroids come in. For a long time, people only talked about asteroid mining in sci-fi stories. But in the last few years, it started to seem like it could really happen. This sparked the creation of companies eager to mine asteroids, and some governments have even passed laws allowing these businesses to head out, hunt down asteroids, and extract resources from them. It's even speculated that the world's first trillionaires will emerge from those who strike it rich in this burgeoning field. Moreover, considering the uneven distribution of valuable resources on Earth, a consequence of its early geological processes, asteroid mining emerges as an attractive alternative. When Earth was forming, its gravity pulled heavier elements, like metals, towards its core, making them hard to get to. For example, it's believed that 99% of Earth's gold, enough to cover the planet in a layer about half a meter thick, is trapped in the core, far out of our reach. Asteroids, however, didn't experience this same process due to their smaller size. As a result, valuable metals and elements are more evenly spread out in asteroids, making them more accessible. This means that, inch for inch, asteroids could offer a wealth of resources far beyond what we can find in Earth's outer layers. Another advantage of asteroids is that they hold vast amounts of materials, rare or even absent on Earth. They are packed with precious metals, water, and other valuable elements. A prime example is asteroid 16 Psyche, believed to be composed largely of iron and nickel, with an estimated value that reaches astronomical figures. A major concern with terrestrial mining is its ecological footprint, a problem absent in asteroid mining. The goal of extracting resources from asteroids is to complement, not deplete, Earth's resources. This focus on asteroids, as opposed to other celestial bodies like Mars, underscores a commitment to sustainability. By turning to asteroids for valuable materials, we can pursue a path that secures resources without inflicting damage on our planet. If those perks of asteroid mining haven't grabbed your attention yet, think about the mind-blowing wealth it could bring in, the kind of stuff that's beyond our wildest dreams. It's suggested that the resources extractable from certain asteroids could soar to values not merely in billions or trillions, but in quintillions of dollars. Such an astronomical figure not only dwarfs the entire global GDP, but also exceeds the total wealth accumulated throughout the entirety of human history. The wild thing is, within just the inner solar system, there's an estimated count of over 150 million asteroids at least 100 meters wide. That opens up a huge playground for discovery and scooping up resources. You'd think with such amazing possibilities, we'd be leaps and bounds ahead in this field by now. But surprisingly, we're just not there yet. The adventure into asteroid mining kicked off in 2012 when some notable billionaires like Google's Larry Page and Eric Schmidt, Texas big shot Ross Perot Jr., and space-savvy entrepreneur Charles Simonyi put their money into planetary resources. They had this audacious goal of launching a trillion-dollar industry by starting to mine asteroids by 2025. Even though they had big dreams, things didn't pan out as they expected it to be. The company ended up being sold with the whole asteroid mining plan put on hold indefinitely. Since then, other similar projects have popped up, all fired up with the same excitement, but finding it just as tough to make that big dream a reality. So far, the only real win in bringing back bits of asteroid to Earth is a tiny 250 grams. And that was all thanks to NASA's science missions, not any business ventures. Mining in space turned out to be full of logistical headaches and complexities. The first big challenge is picking the right asteroid to mine. It would be a total bummer to pick one, spend a ton on getting there, and then discover it doesn't even have the good stuff we're after. You could wonder, why not hit up the asteroid belt? It's packed with rocks, just like in sci-fi flicks, so if one asteroid's a bust, couldn't we just skip to the next one? But the reality is far from this. The real asteroid belt is surprisingly spacious. Cruising through, you'd find way more empty space than asteroids. These space rocks are usually about 1 million kilometers apart, so bumping into one is pretty rare. Also, the asteroid belt is pretty far off, sitting between 1 and 2 times farther from us than the Sun. With the engines we've got now, a round trip could eat up to 4 years. That makes the whole concept of tapping into the asteroid belt for resources a tough nut to crack right now. Also, there's a bit of a snag. Deciding on the first step is a real head-scratcher for scientists. They're considering sending a spacecraft out to an asteroid to look for prime mining spots, especially when there's a bounty of valuable minerals and water. But here's the kicker. They need to figure out a method to get the twirling asteroid to stay put while they mine. The spacecraft designated for this mission must meet specific criteria to ensure its success. It needs to be exceptionally fuel efficient and designed with a lightweight structure. Moreover, the spacecraft should operate using a water propulsion system, which generates fuel by splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen. This way, the spaceship can go back and forth, mining the asteroid until there's nothing left to mine, making the trip worth it. Considering these obstacles, should asteroid mining remain a mere figment of our imagination? Well, the truth is far from this. Despite early setbacks with funding, space mining is on the rise again. Companies like Astroforge, Trans-Astronautica Corporation, and Carmen Plus have emerged lately, gearing up to test their technology in space and pave the way for future asteroid mining missions. Astroforge from Los Angeles is eyeing M-type asteroids, known for their rich platinum group metals. They aim to mine these metal-rich rocks, process the materials, and bring the refined goods back to Earth in the next few years. Meanwhile, TransAstra is pushing forward with its asteroid mining tech, getting a boost from NASA grants that are all about backing cool space exploration ideas. Carmen Plus, a new player from Denver, is taking a unique path by focusing on scooping up regolith, a material that's pretty common on asteroids. They're dreaming of using loads of this raw material to build things in space, like infrastructure for satellite services or solar power setups. Meanwhile, other companies have shifted their attention towards near-Earth objects, or NEOs. These are asteroids with orbits that bring them relatively close to our planet. To date, around 30,000 NEOs have been identified, offering a more accessible and cost-effective target for potential mining operations compared to the distant asteroid belt. Dealing with the tough task of reaching NEOs for mining, scientists have proposed a daring and somewhat controversial idea. They want to intercept an NEO and change its trajectory to bring it into a stable orbit around Earth or the Moon, making mining operations much more accessible. This captivating proposal intersects with current studies on changing asteroid paths to safeguard Earth. So how exactly are they planning to go around with this? They're eyeing aerobraking, which is basically using Earth's atmospheric drag to slow down an incoming object. This might seem like a fancy concept, but it's nothing new. It's the same technique spacecraft use to slow down when they're coming back to Earth or heading to other planets. The plan is to apply aerobraking to small asteroids, slowing them down just enough so they don't fly past Earth, but instead enter into orbit where we can get to them for mining. Sure, this idea sounds awesome, but it's not without its critics. The idea of pulling big asteroids close to Earth has got some people pretty worried, especially with the possibility that they could be turned into weapons. If private companies had the tech to steer asteroids right at us, the amount of power they'd have would be mind-blowing. However, supporters of this concept brush off those fears by pointing out they'd only aim for asteroids no bigger than 30 meters across. They explained that asteroids of this size would burn up completely once they reach the lower atmosphere. But they do admit that they'd have to be extra careful with asteroids made of denser materials like iron, since those might not burn up all the way. Another point to think about when it comes to mining these NEOs is the money side of things. Is it really going to be worth it, especially since any cash that would be made could be pretty far off in the future? The whole deal with precious metals like gold and platinum is that they're rare. If we suddenly get a bunch of them from space and flood the market, their prices could tank. What used to be super valuable could end up being as common as fake jewelry. Considering everything, it's too soon to write off asteroid mining as just a pipe dream. It might actually be closer to becoming a reality than it seems. Thanks to the revolution in reusable rockets, making space travel more budget-friendly, and the increasing difficulty and expense of digging up Earth's dwindling resources, asteroid mining could be the new frontier. There's a growing buzz among some experts that we could start tapping into space resources in the next decade. Asteroid mining is about more than just striking it rich. It could seriously level up our space exploration game. At first, we might focus on those nearby NEOs. But as we get better and smarter, we could aim for the main asteroid belt. With human creativity being pretty much boundless, the idea of mining asteroids doesn't seem so far out of reach. It might even lay the groundwork for some epic space adventures that go way beyond our solar system. But what are your thoughts about this? We hope you like our story, and we'll catch you in the next one.